Hey, what's up guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel. I know y'all haven't seen me in a while, but I promise I tried to get a video out yesterday. Unfortunately, it did get copyright claimed, so I did dispute it and we will see what happens in the next 30 days. In the meantime, I'm gonna try and post another video and hopefully it won't be copyright claimed, but we will just have to see. If y'all have been following me for a while, you know that I am a practicing minimalist. It's definitely ideals that I'd love to share on my channel. So what I'm going to do today is react to Sparking Joy, which is a series on Netflix starring Marie Kondo. So in order to avoid another copyright claim, hopefully I'm going to try and include less of the clips and more of my own interpretation of them and additional comments that I have, and then I would just recommend that you all watch this episode and the rest of the series on your own on Netflix as well. One of the things we see in the introduction is that Marie Kondo is tidying with her husband and her daughter looks pretty excited to tidy, and I think this is super key, is to make the act of tidying be a fun activity for you and your family. Being able to get that joy out of cleaning up your spaces is really important. You can't go into cleaning thinking that you're going to be miserable for the next few hours. That's definitely not how you should look at it. So I really love and appreciate her positive outlook on these types of things. When you see someone experience that joy after cleaning their room, cleaning their life up, people are inspired. They want to do similar things to fix their environments in their life as well. It's kind of a chain reaction. When you see one person getting their life together, cleaning up their messes, it kind of inspires a bunch of other people to do the same things and to change their lives in that way.
This is such a cute store.
That is super cute. Wow. I really appreciate how much that owner put into making it such an aesthetic place. Oh my gosh, this isn't even that bad, honestly. I remember working at Dunkin'. It was a little chaotic. That was so key. She said that, like, the clutter... Wait, what did it say? The business owner said the clutter makes... Dude, how did I forget this quote twice now? She said something along the lines of, the clutter makes us have more work so that we can't focus on the things that actually matter. This is not only applicable to business owners, but even to us as students or whoever's watching this. It's applicable to every single person. If you think about being a student, if you go home and you enter a messy room and you somehow have to force yourself to do homework, it is just not going to work well. Your brain is not going to want to focus on your homework when you think, oh, I have to do the laundry, I have to make my bed, I have to clean up the dishes. There's just too much stuff going on in your brain that it can't devote all its time to that one priority you need to focus on. So it's really important to keep your spaces tidy and organized so that you can focus on things that actually matter.
What is this box for? My catch-all for things that we don't know where they go.
Okay, this is a trend that I see with people cleaning their rooms and cleaning their workspaces, is that everyone seems to have this one miscellaneous box where just random items go in because you don't know where else to put them. Never ever have this box. This box is a trap that a lot of people fall into, that they think, oh, I don't know where anything goes, let me just shove it all in here. But there's no categories. Nothing belongs with all the other objects, and nothing belongs in that box. That is one of, I think, the biggest takeaways within the first 5 minutes of this episode, is to not have a miscellaneous box. Figure out where things need to go, and if you don't need them, then get rid of the items. Ooh. When I become a mother in the future, I'm going to make sure my kids have the cleanest rooms and the most tidiest rooms. I'm going to make them fall in love with cleaning and organizing, because I do not want to see any of this chaotic mess, because I can imagine as a mother you're probably already going through so much other stuff, and having clutter is not one of the things you need to add onto that list. It's interesting that she has a dresser in her office. You can see there's hangers, there's clothes, trash even, and a bag. Maybe some of that, or even most of the stuff in here, is not actually necessary, at least to be in her office space. That was one of the hardest things for me to get rid of when I was younger. This reminds me of the way my room used to look like. The most amount of things that I owned was actually papers, like stuff from school, artwork I made, because I made that the sentimental item. So I am really glad I got over that phase and I'm able to recycle things easily now, but this just reminds me of the way that I used to be. she basically says that her office is where she works out. She also has a closet. It's also become a storage room. And this reminds me exactly of the miscellaneous box. None of those stuff go together, and clearly it doesn't work. So I really think it's important for people to dedicate spaces for certain categories and certain things. And you especially shouldn't be combining all of the things that she listed there into one room.
Everything is. Some days I add.
That's really interesting that she said that, because I feel like some people who live in messy environments know where everything is because they're used to the mess, whereas other people who live in messy environments are like, oh wait, I don't know where anything is.
And prioritizing what needs to happen first.
I remember when I was younger trying to clean my room, I had so many toys, so many clothes, so much stuff that I just placed it all on the ground, and I was like, okay, I can go through items one by one and decide what I want. But the problem was that I didn't have a set routine that I was gonna follow. I didn't really know where to begin. I was just like, I'll just start, which wasn't that effective, because I really think that you burn out quicker that way. Also, you spend hours and hours working on it, and then you'll have to go to bed, and then there's a bunch of stuff on the floor. So I do really think it's important to find categories or find sections of your room that you want to start at, make that progress, and then either finish that up that day or continue whenever you decide to clean again.
I think once you've tidied, the more fun you'll have in the space, and you'll have an opportunity to reconsider how you like to spend your time.
That is so key. She was like, once you tidy up your space, you'll be able to realize what you actually want to spend your time on. This doesn't only relate to your physical living space, but also just things you have to do in general. If you have so many things on your to-do list that you have no idea what to do with it all, where in there are you going to have time to figure out what you actually like to enjoy?
In the drawers besides office.
Ooh. Good key point. It says functional items that spark joy but don't fulfill their purpose decrease overall happiness. That is also very key. I see people have a tendency to keep items in their home that don't actually work, but they just don't want to get rid of it because they're like, oh, well, it sort of works. What? Not only is it going to decrease your overall happiness, but I honestly think it will decrease your overall productivity as well. In the life-changing magic of tidying up, Marie Kondo explains her very specific categories list for tidying. In this specific episode, it's number 1 is clothing, then shoes, stationery, documents, and then toys. Whenever you are cleaning your room, never start with these sentimental items, because you're going to want to just keep everything because those mean the most to you. So you should kind of go through the process of getting rid of items that are easier to get rid of, and then get to the sentimental items last when you're best prepared for them.
This is insane.
See, it looked pretty organized, honestly, in the closet, and then you take everything out of your closet and you realize how much stuff is actually in there. It's a trap how much stuff a closet can fit, because you take everything out and you're like, what the heck, I didn't even know I had some of these pieces. So I do really agree that it's important to lay all those items in one category and then, like lay it out and see for yourself what you actually own and what you don't need anymore.
Something that we feel
Ooh, okay. Yes, she said when something sparks joy, it's something we feel immediately in our hearts the moment we hold that item in our hands. This is something that I have had to learn over the years, because sometimes when I try to declutter my items, I hold an item and I'm like, maybe I want it, I like it, but I don't know if I need it, blah, blah, blah. No, I am personally a firm believer in a yes category and a no category, and if it's a maybe, it's probably a no. Again, people may declutter differently, but I do think that, like, she's right. You would look at an item and you would know immediately if you loved it or not. They all seem so nice. I love all the people that have been on her shows so far. First of all, Marie Kondo is just super, super nice. She has this elegant, beautiful, bright smile, but also the guests that she talks to seem to be very nice, with Logan and his family in the first episode, and now her in the second episode.
Really lazy.
Okay, that is one thing. I never, ever, ever hold on to clothes that I don't feel good in. I don't have clothes that I feel lazy in. Oh, okay. You don't ever want to set yourself up for a lazy day. A relaxing day, sure, but not lazy. You want to be able to reflect on your day and be happy with the things that you accomplished or the self-care that you did, even. So I don't have clothes that I don't feel good in.
That Julian made me. Seeing these soured me to
cleaning is such an empowering process that allows you to take action of the things that you own and decide what you truly value. Cleaning is such an amazing process. I love it so much.
Your environment is a reflection of how you feel about yourself inside.
Oh my gosh, no one seems to realize that. Like, if you are in a messy environment, you are a messy person. You're dealing, like, it's a reflection of who you are. So being able to take control of your environment and make it a place that you truly love will allow you to love yourself even more.
Or earphones. That's good.
I hate folding clothes, and that method looks a little bit difficult, so maybe that's more motivation for me to get rid of more clothes, is that so I won't have to do that. Oh my gosh, there's so many cards in there. I remember I used to keep every single birthday card, Christmas card, whatever card that anyone had ever given to me, and now I only hold on to the things that truly, truly, truly mean the most to me. Like, I'm not going to need a card that says happy birthday from whoever and then there's no message in it, you know. I appreciate, of course, the intent with giving a item like that, and so that's why I really appreciate Marie Kondo's method of when you want to let go of that item, you express how grateful you were for it and then say thank you.
There hasn't been time to actually date each other.
I never want to get to that point, or if I do, that I quickly go out of it, where I no longer know how to have fun just because I'm so busy with work and other life events. Like, if I'm going to get married, I'm going to be a good wife and a good mother, and I don't want to let work and other commitments that aren't as important to me and valuable to me. And it's really hard though, so I totally understand what he's saying. Whoa. That looks so good.
Massive difference, right?
Okay, comparing the before and after, it doesn't look like they got rid of a lot of stuff. Rather, they just tidied things and put things into place. Maybe it's different because Julian's obviously a kid, so they tend to have a lot more items like toys and clothes because they're constantly growing and changing their interests. So it's interesting. I don't know. It didn't make that much of a difference to me looking at it, but at least it's clean now. Hopefully it doesn't become messy again, and if it does, they're able to fix that quickly. Maybe if it does become messy again quickly, they'll realize it probably is too much stuff still. This is like a Pinterest office. Looks like a lot of clothes still, but that's okay. Those look like all the same shoes. Okay, there's a lot of stuff, but it's probably necessary for the business, and it looks very organized, which I really appreciate. It is such a ripple effect when you take control of that one thing of tidying up your spaces. It makes you want to change so much more about your life in order to better yourself in the way that you live and change habits that don't serve you well, and being able to just live a better life. It starts with cleaning, honestly, and wow, yay. I really liked that episode. I personally am a bigger fan of seeing how tidying relates to home spaces rather than workspaces, so it was nice to see the first episode, obviously, but I think I connected with this one a bit more, so it was super entertaining to watch. As I'm watching this, I realize I am more of a minimalist at heart rather than just simply a tidier and organizer, because sometimes I look at those spaces and they look clean, but I'm like, oh my gosh, there's still too much stuff in there. So it's interesting to watch it from that perspective, but overall I really enjoy going through this series, so stay tuned for another video tomorrow. Bye.